Hey guys, Tech Talk with you here. So let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy A05. The Samsung Galaxy A05 is a decent budget device with some great features, but this doesn't mean this device doesn't have any limitations. I would highlight the features I think are great alongside what I think it's a limitation. So let's get started. Thanks to Samsung and adopting a uniform design for all their devices, the Samsung A05 also has that premium Samsung device look. It doesn't matter if it's a budget device, it gives you a similar design feel to what you have on the mid-range or high-end Samsung devices. It has a thick body and rounded edges. This thick body also makes it not so comfortable for a one-handed use. Frames and back are plastic. It also has a smooth and glossy back finishing, which leaves quite a number of fingerprint smears all over the back. I wouldn't call this back design fragile, but it wouldn't exactly survive some certain drops without a case either, which wasn't provided by Samsung in the box. Another thing I noticed is the A05 comes with a regular power button and no fingerprint sensor like most devices these days. I actually feel a phone that costs over 100,000 naira should have a fingerprint sensor. We've seen it on other devices for less, though it does have a face unlock. Also, the drop notch display on the A05 looks better than most drop notch displays I've come across on budget devices. It's more like a U-shape instead of the regular V-shape, and this looks a lot more better. With a 6.7-inch 720p 60Hz LCD, the screen size is perfect for an immersive viewing experience. Although the 60Hz refresh rate feels almost like a deal breaker, scrolling through with a 60Hz refresh rate feels quite sluggish and doesn't completely give those smooth animation transitions. Hopefully there's an improvement in the future. It's powered by a MediaTek G85 chipset, though this chipset is a bit old, but it works just fine. For an entry-level device, you can say the A05 is competing with the likes of the Redmi 13C and the Tecno Spark 20. Comparison video of the three wouldn't be so out of place. The G85 chipset is perfectly decent for everyday tasks, scrolling through social media, browsing the web, and even running not so demanding games. But if you're someone that runs multiple heavy apps and games, you would probably have a much different experience. Probably this would have been a much different experience if it supported up to 6GB or 8GB of RAM. Actually, there's a 6GB of RAM, but this isn't shipped to Nigeria. What we have here is just the 4GB of RAM and 64GB or 128GB of internal storage space. Remember, this is a budget phone and also an entry-level device. Don't expect miracles. It ships with Android 13 and One UI Core 5.1. Samsung has also promised 4 years of software updates up to Android 17. For the camera, it supports a 50-megapixel main camera and 2-megapixel depth sensor. Shows are decent in good lighting conditions. It doesn't do so well under a lot of sunlight and also not so great in poor lighting conditions. Also, there's no image stabilization on the camera. Well, that's not much of an issue because most budget devices don't support image stabilization. Videos on the rear shoots at 1080p at 30fps and 60fps. The 8-megapixel selfie camera is supposed to be an upgrade from the 5-megapixel on the A04, but I really don't see much difference between both cameras. It's still, entry-level performance, but decent. The 5000 mAh battery capacity is a good one as it can go a whole day on a single charge. Even while gaming, the battery health doesn't drop so much within a short period of time. Samsung also did include a 25 watts charging on the device, but taking out the charging brick doesn't make any sense, especially on a budget device. We all know how picky Samsung devices get with adapters. It should cost you an additional 5 to 10k to get a charging brick that would be compatible with your device. This I consider a limitation because it is no way in the budget category. Also, what do you think about Samsung excluding charging bricks from their entry-level devices? Let me know in the comment section. In conclusion, the A05s is a good budget device with some solid points like the nice design and amazing battery life and the chipsets. But the lack of some features like a fingerprint sensor, the absence of a charging brick, and maybe a 90Hz refresh rate takes off a few points off it. But if you're someone who doesn't care about all this should be a good option for you. So guys, that's all I've got on the Samsung A05. What would you rate this device? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more tech reviews and tips. Peace out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.